Good morning. This is Stephen and Jennifer and Emily with Iowa Backyard Farmer coming to you here in early August. Kind of a cool August, but even with the cool weather, we are getting pretty good tomato harvest already. So what are we going to look at this morning?
So today, this is the not red, big, delicious tomato category. So we've got our oranges, we've got some yellows, we've got some greens, veering off into some purpley black colors. They're not your standard reds, but they're tremendous flavor. Some of my very favorites are in this category, and I'm interested to see what you think of them.
Yeah, these look really good. If they say to eat the rainbow, this is where I'd want to start.
I know, this is where you'd start. And we have had...
cautious of the zombie looking one.
You're cautious of the zombie. So we'll look at the zombie looking one here in just a minute.
Yeah, so we have some new ones. Lots of fun colors. Lots of fun colors.
Okay, where do you want to start?
Let's start with one that I'm pretty sure you all like because I put this one on a BLT pretty frequently. This is Orange Wellington.
Ah.
It's a nice, really meaty beefsteak. It's bright orange. And
the color is beautiful.
Yeah. Been a favorite one. We've grown this for a lot of years.
In terms of meatiness, it's probably one of the meatiest tomatoes I've ever had, but it's not dry. It's still very juicy, super flavorful. Seed cavities are very, very tiny.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good.
It's really good. The texture is nice and smooth. You get that really rich flavor.
Really tasty.
I would happily eat that every day.
I know.
That's really
Actually,
good.
this is one when people come over and I'm like, hey, do you want a tomato to take home? I've gotten in trouble for giving this one away.
Wait a minute, I wanted that one for dinner.
Because they're fantastic.
Yeah. Yum. Very good. That's
Okay.
I really, really like that. And that one's probably going to be hard to beat.
Mm-hmm.
So next one up is...
This is Dr. Wyche.
So Dr. Wyche, so more of an heirloom type of tomato. Still very meaty, maybe a little bit more, seed cavity compared to the other, but looks really good. Beautiful orange color.
I'm excited. It's really tasty.
It's really good. This is really rich and tomatoey. This has just a little bit more tang to it. It's just got a little bit. It's not something that's like sour or bites you. It's just pleasantly
just a slightly different flavor that comes from the extra tang.
Well, it's like it's some of them we've taste tested and you have this pop of flavor and then it kind of just goes blah. This one I feel like when you eat it you're like that was good and then it kind of blossoms and you're like oh, that's really good. You can feel the flavor.
And a really beautiful looking heirloom type of tomato, nice lobes.
Yeah.
So that's been really nice. It was a little bit later to come on compared to some of the others, but it was worth the wait.
I know, and I've got a pile of them inside, so it's not shorting me like some of your heirlooms where you're like, I got 4. We'll cover that one later.
Yeah.
But Brandywine, I talked to you. But it's very good. Okay, so this is Lemon Boy Plus. And you're going to notice that this is a bright lemony yellow color. It's paler on the inside than on the skin.
Been very productive, though. We've been harvesting that one probably longer than anything else on the table.
And I have a pile of these inside, too. They're very, very good.
Way more zing than the others.
A bit more of a funk than the other two.
More juicy. More of a slicer than kind of a beefsteak.
You've got the more watery.
I think the skin is a bit thicker.
Yeah, it could be, yeah.
And they'll vary from tomato to tomato.
But in terms of color, it's very much a yellow tomato. These other ones that we've tried have been more of a tangerine orangey color.
Yeah.
So I don't even know that
texture-wise, you're not quite as smooth as you have with these, and you're not quite as rich or as deep of flavor. But I like the bright pop of flavor that it gives you.
Yeah, I would definitely eat that again.
So let's go around the corner that way. Hand me this one, Emily. This is Sart Roloise, and generally it's going to have really purple shoulders. And let's see if I can. The shoulders will get this purpling from the anthocyanins. This one was from deep inside the tomato bush, and It does not have the really purple shoulders that are very beautiful.
So out of all these, this is almost a creamy white
Mm-hmm.
and still very meaty, very pretty. One of the prettier ones, but it is. Let's see what it tastes like.
It tastes licorice.
It has definitely got more of the flavor of a kind of the purplish tomatoes have a fairly distinct flavor. This has more of a flavor like a purplish,
But
blackish
it doesn't have
one.
the deep richness of a purple black one. It's
No.
kind of just like it's got an odd flavor in there somewhere.
It tastes like black licorice. Like the aftertaste I'm getting on the back of my tongue tastes like black licorice.
Is this to say it is not your favorite?
If you like black licorice, you will like this tomato.
That's yeah, right at the very end. I'm like, oh,
At the
there it
very end,
is.
it gets you
Just a little
back.
hint of black licorice.
And I can't taste it, but I do not get the. It's got the smooth, really fine grained texture, but it doesn't have what I like in these other flavors.
Yeah, kind of the fruity, bright flavor of these others. That one doesn't have.
Yeah, so you've got it's kind of a mild flavor, and it has some kind of note at the end. I'm not picking up licorice,
Tastes like
but
licorice.
it's something herbal at the end.
Yeah, interesting. It's
Interesting.
pretty. Wouldn't be my top pick out of the ones we've tried so far.
Okay, so I hand this one over. This is Virginia Sweets.
Okay. So this is a new one to us this year. Came highly recommended on another channel and thought, well, let's give that a try. Very unique colored.
It's very pretty.
Yeah, so you get that. This one's not quite ripe. It's yellow, and it's going to get the pink striping on it, and the pink goes all the way to the center.
It's a bright neon pink
So
in the
it's
middle.
yeah, bright neon pink in the middle, but yellow, which is really fun. And you've got that really nice meaty beefsteak texture. There's not really big seed cavities. What are you going to think of the flavor? And grab the very center piece.
I like it, but I can't tell why.
That's actually a good description. Like, huh, that's pretty okay.
It doesn't taste
What
like a
do I wanna
tomato.
Yeah, it does not have that classic tomato flavor. It's
No.
a
Very
sweeter
fruity.
flavor and fruitier.
And it kind of melts in your mouth.
Floral.
Yeah.
Tastes floral to me.
That's really delicious. That's really delicious. It does not taste like any of the other tomatoes
No.
we've tasted.
I still can't describe it.
But I like it.
I like it. It's a more neutral flavor compared to the others.
It's very sweet.
It's very sweet. It's very sweet. It's very nice.
Okay.
Okay, so let's hand over Ananas Noire. This is black pineapple.
The zombie looking one.
Yeah, Emily
Emily's
calls
like-
it the zombie looking one.
And you've got the greens and the reds, and it's going to like bright pink on the center.
So I got red. Like I said, red with green. Emily calls it the zombie looking one.
It looks.
But this is our first year trying this one as well.
And it's very productive. I have a pile of these inside too. We're going to have super sauce making all
Tomato
the
pasta.
tomato day.
Yeah.
And we need a super tomato day.
So fairly thick, medium sized seed cavities, but it's not like it's sitting here dripping in water or anything. So it looks like it's probably pretty juicy.
Doesn't look like how it tastes.
Yeah.
That is super smooth. There's no zing to it for me. That's
I
a
like
really
that
really
flavor.
good sweet flavor. Yeah.
How do I describe this? The texture is good. The beefiness is good. The colors are fun, and the flavor is very pleasant.
Yeah.
It's wet, but not watery.
It's not watery, but it's probably the juiciest of the ones that we've cut into so far. So, yeah,
It's getting quite
I'd
cool.
call
I know.
I'd call that a keeper.
Yeah.
I'd definitely do that one again.
That one's not. Here, you want the last one? All right. And one that you guys haven't tried yet this year. This is our first one that we'll be trying this year. This is Aunt Ruby's German Green.
Ooh.
And if you can see it's, again, super meaty.
Yeah.
It's super meaty. Hand me that last slice. It'll be mostly green,
This one?
but when it's starting to ripen, I'm just getting a little bit of a blush of pink right there at the bottom.
So I always thought that green tomatoes
We're unripe.
And so I think mentally have to get over the fact that we're going to be eating a tomato that's
so
ripe.
This should be a blind taste test, but
yeah. I would say if I hadn't seen this,
if you hadn't seen it,
let's see what my brain thinks of it after knowing that it's a green tomato. So what was it again? It's Aunt Ruby's German green.
Yeah, and it's plenty ripe. It's very soft.
It like melts in the mouth.
Mm-hmm. It has a really nice
fine
texture.
My brain doesn't like it.
My brain.
Green.
I love it.
Well, it is ripe.
I mean, like, if you close your eyes, it's just a tomato.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like middle of the road.
I don't know that it's middle of the road. I have had way.
You haven't been on the other side of the road.
We only grow great tomatoes. This is an excellent tomato. What do you think?
I'm not sure how to describe it. It is. I would definitely eat it again.
Yeah, but the color throws you off a little bit. Your brain's playing tricks on you.
Has a little bit more of a classic tomatoey flavor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's not as sweet as some of these
If you didn't know it was green, you might think it was red.
Yeah, definitely.
The flavor of it.
So
that's really tremendous.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we've got 3 left. Let's do Hawaiian Pineapple, and this one is not quite ripe. I've been waiting forever to try and get these all together in one spot. This is Hawaiian Pineapple. It's humongous.
It looks
very
pretty.
It's humongous.
And wow, that's very meaty as well.
Yeah, when I sliced it open, I was like, wow, that looks like a pineapple.
Yeah.
It's almost as big around as a pineapple. So
we grew this one, 10 years ago?
Yeah.
And just space limitations, we've not been able to grow everything that we want, but giving this one another try, hopefully this is ripe enough. Give us a fair
It's been a little later than some of my others to come on.
If it tastes like a pineapple, I'm going to be baffled. I wasn't prepared for the texture or the flavor. It's thick.
Yeah, it is very meaty. That is
a very meaty tomato.
Like meaty to almost where I think it feels grainy almost. Kind of sour.
It's not quite ripe.
I was saying maybe because it's not quite ripe. I'm intrigued enough to wait for it next time.
What we have is not bad.
Yeah.
But we'll give it a.
Not sure that it's representative of what we'll taste.
Yeah.
With the next one.
But big, meaty, beautiful. We'll give it a pass on final judgment until we try a super ripe one.
Yeah, I sense that it's going to be very good.
Yeah.
And even if it's just a hair bit green right now, it's still got a unique flavor. I just don't know what it's going to be like given a full ripeness. Okay. Oh, that's really intriguing. Okay. Oh. 2 hands.
You got it.
You got it.
What do we have here?
So this is orange slice. At least we hope it's orange slice. Their plants are getting big enough to where they're growing into each other. You can see it has more of a where you have kind of a beefsteak texture here. This is going to be sort of closer to Lemon Boy.
Yeah, the much bigger seed cavities, more of a slicer than a beefsteak type of tomato.
Yeah, it looks a lot like a Big Boy
and it looks very different than Orange Wellington. So even on the outside where it looks a little bit like Orange Wellington, on the inside they look entirely different.
Yeah. So give it a shot.
And this historically was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But we've tried many more since then. Yeah.
I think this one hits me with the strongest sour note of anything we've tried on here. So you have like tang, but this one kind of has the more assertive
Yeah,
tang.
it doesn't come out with a big punch of sweetness like some of the others do.
Like compared to the others, this one's just like.
Yeah, that's right. It's kind of like, oh,
It's
whatever.
still
It's not bad, but
meh
I wouldn't.
among the top tomatoes in the world.
Yeah,
If you want a
It's
tomato,
still pretty good. It's not bad. It's pretty. It's productive. It grows well. I would probably pick one of these two oranges over
Yeah.
it.
yeah. If I had to narrow it down, that would be one I'd probably set aside.
Yeah,
So
it's good, but it's not. It's not that good.
it is not as good as the Orange Wellington or the Dr. Wyche.
Okay, so last one,
I'm intrigued. It looks
purple.
Purple. So
Yes.
what is this one called?
So this is from one of our dwarf tomatoes. This is one of the dwarf tomato project
Okay.
ones. So my plant is little, and the tomato is kind of little too. But
it's like, is that the only one
So
you got?
it's
The only
called
one I've got.
Dwarf Purple what?
Dwarf purple rain.
Like REIGN?
GN, yep.
Okay. So Dwarf Purple Rain. We've never tried this one, so this is a very first for all of us. That tastes like a purple tomato.
Emily's like,
If you're expecting it to be a bright, fruity, floral flavor like some of these others
yeah, this
are,
has darker
this
undertones.
is much
Much
darker.
more of a funk to it.
It's more of an earthy. I don't know. It tastes like a fairly common darker tomato, and so
I'm getting licorice vibes again.
For someone who doesn't like licorice, you mentioned it a lot.
I know what it tastes like.
yeah. So
all right. So
it wouldn't be my first choice or
Yeah.
second.
and
It'd be
it
my last.
and Emily was not a fan.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought it was good.
It's very
It's very
juicy.
different from what the other flavors we
Yeah.
tasted on here. Overall, the yellows, the greens, everything's kind of fruity or mild,
Mhm.
maybe a little tangy. We've got some bright flavors, really smooth textures. If you had to pick a favorite today, which one are you going back to seconds for? If we have BLTs for lunch, what tomato are you putting on it?
Well, that's a hard one because ones that I like are like sweet enough that I wouldn't put it on something savory.
Okay.
Like, one is just like, yeah, I like this because it's sweet. I'll put it in a salsa. I wouldn't put it on a cheeseburger though. I would want a more savory tomato for that.
Okay,
That's fair.
that's fair.
That's
but
fair.
tell me which one is your
Let's
favorite.
see.
I like these four.
You like those four?
Those four?
So Virginia Sweets, Ananas Noire, Orange Wellington, and Dr. Wyche taking your top honors today.
Yeah. So if I had to rank order them, which is not easy when they're like all at the top of the top,
These are some really good. I mean, we've been growing tomatoes for a lot of years, and we have sorted through them. These are fantastic tomatoes.
So if I could only grow one, I would do Orange Wellington. It's productive, and I really, really like the
Yeah.
flavor. If I could do two, I would do Orange Wellington and Dr. Wyche.
Well, if I were
If
going
I
to do
could-
two, I might branch out and do
Well.
Virginia Sweets so I get two different colors.
I'm just thinking, yeah,
Yeah.
I'd probably do the black pineapple. What is that called? Ananas Noire.
Yep.
That'd probably be my number 3. Lemon Boy Plus my number 4. Virginia Sweet's my number 5. Aunt Ruby's German Green number 6. So, and that would leave out, if I had to do that.
Yeah, what would you leave out?
I would leave out the Sart Roloise. There's nothing special about the flavor for me.
And the color is contingent on having a lot of sunshine, which we haven't had this year.
Yeah. Orange Slice, I could pass on that. Used to be my favorite, but I think what I used to think was Orange Slice was actually Orange Wellington. Now that we do them side by side, I'm like, yeah, I can pass on the Orange Slice. Judgment needs to be reserved on the, what is that?
That's Hawaiian Pineapple.
The Hawaiian Pineapple.
I think that one's great. We just didn't have one that was quite all the way ready.
Yeah. And I'm not a big fan of some of the purple ones, and so I'd pass on the Dwarf Purple Rain. So anyway, that's how I would order it.
All right, what are you leaving out, Emily? What are you keeping?
I want to keep these 4.
You want to keep those 4?
I want to get rid of these.
You want to get rid of those? Okay.
So Sart Roloise would go. The Dwarf Purple Rain would go for you.
Yeah.
And the orange slice.
That's fair.
I think that's fair. I think I would do them the same. If I am out in the garden and I find myself in the garden looking for a tomato, orange Wellington is probably the one that I'm most excited when I find it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know that one's fantastic. Dr. Wyche, we've had a lot in salsa. If you watched our paste tomato video, that's the one I pick for like a fresh salsa.
The competitor tomato.
Fantastic. Fantastic. And I was surprised by the Aunt Ruby's German green. I think your brain tricks on you. If you had had that as a blind test taste, you would have been like, that's a dang good tomato. It's really fun.
Yeah, and we've tried some other green ones in the past. I don't remember which ones, but I think the other green one that we have tried was just slightly better than this one.
Oh, the Emerald Evergreen?
Hey, maybe it was Emerald Evergreen. Yeah. So anyway, if you've never tried a green tomato, I would suggest doing it. And if you've never tried an orange or a yellow or any other fun colored tomato,
it's worth it.
It's definitely worth it.
Try them all. It's my favorite category of the whole year.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm curious, what are your favorite uniquely colored tomatoes? If you have one that you love that we are not trying, please comment down below. Otherwise, please subscribe and follow us and watch our other taste test videos as well. And we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.